Hi, my name is Gary Wyant. I'm a vast major at Penn State Altoona, and this is my senior exhibition. My exhibition mediated deconstructs an argument over Facebook between myself and childhood friends. I use this to examine the effects of social media on relationships, and as a form of therapy to address the loss of these friendships. The exhibition ultimately expresses my thoughts on the situation while attempting to remain impartial towards the parties involved. The show consists of two main portions. The first contains 4 sequential illustrations printed on canvas detailing the abstraction or exaggeration of my response to comments made on social media. The second contains 5 styrofoam sculptures with painted illustrations of myself aging. This addresses the very idea of change and the fact that it is always happening. Those sculptures lead up to a vanity and sink taken from my childhood home. The vanity signifies the distorting effects looking in a mirror can have on a person, including providing a self-deprecating gaze. All of the pieces presented and mediated are named using comments taken from either the altercation on my own Facebook wall or comments taken from a subsequent post written on another's wall. Though the canvases go in no particular order, for the sake of the video, they will be viewed in a sequential sequence. Dude, I don't know what to tell you. We used to be friends in high school. In this piece, I reveal to my friends a new side of me, using the metaphor of buying coffee at a tea shop. They then fade away from me, leaving me to drink alone. After some time, new friends with similar tastes to my own come to join me at my table. I thought it important to leave the reserved signs in my old friends' places to signify the fact that although they'd abandoned me, I would still sit and have a drink with them. However, my acceptance of new friends at the end also symbolize that I'm not going to wait alone for them. I'm so damn disappointed and disgusted. In this piece, I confront the comment by confronting myself. I stand in front of the vanity as I had so many times before. As the viewer comes to see, I am wearing a mask in the mirror, symbolizing my disconnect from the person I portray myself to be. The illustration ends with a text panel simply stating, "So was I," as a response to the title. I feel the idea of being disconnected from the person we are is something everyone can relate to at least once in their life. Whether we're in denial of a change or holding on for those around us, it can wear down on you. I wonder what happened to him. This piece answers that very question by showing myself as I grow up, following the words of another. Be yourself. A great mentality. However, as I grow, so does this other entity. It morphs, becoming almost unrecognizable. I too begin to be unable to recognize myself until I am reminded to be myself. The other entity then lashes out at me, and I brush it off. This entity represents a collective belief that taught me to be myself growing up, a mentality I encouraged in others. However, over the years, this collective belief has morphed into something unrecognizable to me. While I changed, this collective belief did as well. And when I revealed who I had become, much like the monster in the illustration, the people of this collective lashed out at me. I think what hurts the most is they never bothered to ask me themselves. Basically, emotionally cheated. This piece addresses accusations about my at the time new relationship and the nature of my relationship with my ex. The illustration begins with me tied up underwater. The entity from the previous illustration is seen enjoying wine while watching me in a tank. I then begin to swim to freedom, and the entity crushes the wine glass in its hand. In the case of this illustration, the entity represents both the collective belief and my ex-girlfriend. Both gave me a feeling of being trapped, like I was drowning. And when I finally began to break out, both reacted poorly. I use this illustration to try and convey the situation I had been in to those questioning my character. I find that when people can't effectively attack your views, that they instead attack you as a person. He changed so much. The final piece consists of 5 standees constructed from styrofoam and painted with the help of stencils. This piece features 5 versions of me throughout my life. The first is me as a toddler, referencing an image of myself eating a mango. For some reason, it seems everyone close to my family has a copy of this image. The second presents me in elementary school. To this day, friends who knew me from then say they knew me as the annoying fat sweater kid. Third shows me in middle school, a relatively normal kid. Fourth is me in high school. I was a prominent member of the drama club and leaned into my feminine side. This is the version of me referenced by those on Facebook. This is the version of me they wanted to return. Finally, the last standee represents me in college. The me who put this together. Almost like when I stopped being a vegetarian and ate an obsessive amount of meat. I leaned hard into my masculine side. I believe that this may be the cause of some of the animosity towards me, considering the current political atmosphere. This is not to say that one me is better than the other, though I certainly aim to improve. This piece tackles the very idea of change, and presents it as a constant. Even now, just a few short months after creating my senior exhibition, I am not the same me that I was, and I imagine that in another few months, I will be a completely new me. The final part of He Changed So Much, and of this exhibition, is the sink and vanity taken from my childhood home. These 2 items represent a space I've spent a lot of time in, a space I've observed myself grow, a space I've both smiled and frowned in. While the sink and vanity tie the show together, I feel they were an important addition to an exhibition about reflection. And just as I change and become new, so too does the space I grew up in. Through the use of this exhibition and self-meditation, I've come to terms with the events addressed. Though it will always be a point of sadness and disappointment, it has also become a point of personal growth. And to anyone involved, should this video reach you, would you like to get a cup of coffee?